In NBA 2K25, there are 1,500 new dribble animations. An all-new dribble engine, and if you let 2K tell it, this is the most amazing upgrade in the last 15 years. As Mike Wang mentioned, this new dribble engine was rebuilt from the ground up. But my question to you guys is, if we have 1,500 new dribble animations, how come we're only able to use about 20 of them? We about to talk about it. If any of you guys are new here, consider dropping a like and a sub. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's get to the video. What's good, y'all? I'm AllCity. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in. All right, y'all. So one of the hottest topics right now in the 2K community is the dribbling. Currently, there's a lot of players in the 2K community that are reminiscing about the older versions of 2K and how fluid the dribble movements were. That's what you guys are looking at currently in the background of this video. And I just want to pause with a sidebar real quick because I was out there at that time. And I know a lot of you guys are watching this video and you're like, man, nobody wants to sit there and watch somebody dribble the clock away. And that's exactly how we felt back in the day when we saw some dribble head get on and spam dribble for the whole shot clock damn near every possession. But let's try and look at what you're seeing in the background from like a different perspective, the transitioning between dribble moves. I think that's where the fluidity and the dribble movements from the older versions of 2K, they really outshine 2K25. That's my own personal opinion. You guys let me know how you feel about that, what you're seeing on screen. Do you think it's different from what we're getting in NBA 2K25? You know, guys, when the 2K community sits back and reminisces about the older versions of 2K and how effective the dribbling was for the offense, I kind of sort of get the feeling that we're not being completely transparent or honest with what we were experiencing back then. I'll give you guys a quick for instance. Back in the day, if you got an ankle breaker animation and shot immediately thereafter, it was almost an automatic green. It was weird. There was something tied into the animation that kind of boosted your green window. And oh Lord, were those ankle breaker animations frequent. Some players were able to get ankle breaker animations damn near every single possession while they sit back and shoot from the half court line. It was extremely noticeable that 2K favored offense. They seem to have put a lot of focus on the offense converting. Back in the day, we used to have builds called pure playmakers. Pure playmakers were usually limited on the amount of attributes they had on their three-pointer, but for those players who took advantage of an expanded green window after getting an ankle breaker animation, you could barely tell. They seemed to have no limitations and they were able to drive into the paint as well. Now, if we're all being honest, in my opinion, back in the day, the overarching message that I'm trying to deliver here is that defense could not keep up with the offense that 2K gave them. We had super fluid dribble transitions, and not to mention the left-right speed boosting was insane. There was damn near no defender that could keep up with an offensive player's speed boost. And if you had a super high three-pointer and created the tiniest bit of space, you were green in that. Now, if we fast forward to NBA 2K25, personally, I've noticed that it seems like the defense can keep up with the offense, but it's not the same offense that we had back in the day. So it has me wondering, can the defense really keep up? Let's say if we just kind of took offense from one of the older versions of 2K, like what you guys have seen in the background, 2K16 or 2K19, we're talking about bringing all the speed boosting, bringing all the fluidity that dribble heads had from back in the day, and facing that off against the defense that we see on NBA 2K25. Would defense get exposed? In other words, is defense really improved on NBA 2K25, or did 2K just handicap the offense to make defense seem better? By now, you're probably seeing Koza in the background getting busy on NBA 2K25. And as he's dribbling, because I've practiced these dribble moves myself, I can kind of call out every single dribble moves he's doing. I'm sure some of you guys can as well. With all the handicaps on NBA 2K25, we're watching Koza dribble effectively, where it seems like each dribble move matters. And from my own personal experience lapping it up, and then taking what I've learned online to try and execute, you begin to learn that some of the dribbling on NBA 2K25 can make sense. You can make sense of the dribbling. That still doesn't deny the fact that it's way slower and way more clunky. But oftentimes it feels even slower and feels even more clunky because there's so many bumping animations. And during these bumping animations, they end up putting delays on the timing between dribble transitions. So what ends up happening for a lot of 2K players is while they're in their lab, they're practicing their dribble combinations and they kind of become accustomed to a certain timing to trigger these animations. They go and take that stuff online and your timing is completely thrown off because now you have a defender on you. So you're not going to activate these dribble combinations in the same exact way as if you were in the lab. Now, this stuff doesn't make it right or wrong. I'm just saying it's something that us 2K players got to be aware of when we're out there. We got to compensate for understanding that 2K is going to put us into a bumpy animation. We just kind of got to watch a little closer, wait for the bumping animation to kind of finish off, and then trigger your animation. Or too often I'm getting bumped and I'm trying to trigger an escape to get off of the bump, but I gotta wait for the bumping animation to finish out. Sometimes 2K will give me an escape animation, other times they'll give the defender that steal. The problem that I have is that sometimes it just feels like it's up in the air. You just don't necessarily know what's gonna happen. In older versions of 2K, I used to be able to see the defender coming to, say, attack my right hand. In older versions of 2K, I instantly just cross him over. But what I noticed that happens often on 2K25 is that you can see your defender rushing your right hand. You attempt to cross over, you get stuck in a steal animation because the dribble animations on NBA 2K25 are so much slower. In older versions of 2K, I used to see a gap between defenders and you had effective dribble moves to push you through the gap. We used to love to encourage the double team and try to break down two defenders, try and get past two defenders. In NBA 2K25, as soon as defenders get close, you're getting caught in bumping animations, and there seems to be tremendous limitations on breaking down or finding gaps between defenders to slide on through. I definitely love to hear your feedback on that because that to me seems to be one of the most annoying things. And sliding in between two defenders used to be one of the most fun things to do. But that's exactly where I have a dilemma, because back in the day, the defense wasn't up to par to keep up with the offense, so you didn't receive nearly as many bumping animations. And oftentimes it felt like the defense was just undermined. So for me, it's like I want more fluidity in the dribble transitions between animations, but I also like defense and I don't want to feel undermined when I'm on defense. I don't want a dribbler to just dribble right past me like I'm not even there. So I pose the question to you guys, how does 2K create a balance there? Do you guys think that 2K25 dribbling may be up to par and we kind of just need more speed and less bumpiness? Do you guys really like these bumping animations that throw off your timing? Sound off. I need your feedback on this stuff. As I mentioned earlier, we have 1,500 new dribble animations incorporated into NBA 2K25, but it seems like we could only use a few of them. Only a few of them are effective. I would like to reference this post that Fab responded to. Carrie sent out the initial post saying 10,000 new animations, Fab, why only 20 work? And that's an overstatement. Fab responds by saying Steve Francis size up, Devin Booker aggressive breakdown, Fox crossover, Lowry hop jumper, Garland and Halle Hezzy, Levine step back, Pro 2 fade. He goes on to say it's not 2K's fault, to be honest. They can make every dribble style burst, but we will always find that one dribble style that's better than the others. Everyone at the highest level will always use the same SIGs no matter what. And I like that he pointed that out because 2K should know this by now. If you guys don't know, the way in which you get your speed boost is determined by the dribble style you have equipped on your player. Some players like to cross launch while others like the same size speed boost. The good folks over at NBA 2K Lab, they ran tests on this stuff, so they were able to determine the fastest launches you get from whether it's a cross launch or same size speed boost. They determined which ones are fastest, and the 2K community does the same every single year. It just so happens that in every single 2K, there's always one animation or one dribble style that's faster than others. And my question to 2K is, why not make each dribble style have the same effectiveness? This way, the 2K community can make good use of all of the animations in the game. Don't you know this already, 2K? In my opinion, the reason why the community kind of limits which animations they use, and in turn, every player out there dribbling looks damn near the exact same, is simply because there's noticeable differences in the speed of these animations. And it just so happens in every NBA 2K game for as long as I can remember, speed kills. Something that I personally believe to be fact is that it's a lot easier for newer players to kind of get on the game and learn how to put dribble combinations together, simply because it's a slower speed. All you really need is some time and lab work. From what I understand, in the older versions of 2K, there was like a lot of flicking the stick and you had to be really fast, and sometimes it'll feel cumbersome. So this new dribble engine on NBA 2K25 may prove beneficial to some of you guys out there who could really appreciate a slower pace. And if you enjoy NBA 2K25's dribbling, I need you to sound off in the comments section below. It's really important. It's a fact that 2K has evolved into a casual player base, a revolving door of players, not nearly as committed as players were in some of the older versions of 2K. But that doesn't mean that your opinion doesn't matter. You pay for the game just like anybody else, so sound off, share your thoughts. And the fact is that there are some well-known players that are enjoying NBA 2K25's dribble system. I would like to reference this post from Koza. He says, "This is the most fun I've had dribbling since 22. There's versatility. It's a bumpy 2K, probably the bumpiest yet. So when I perform, I can stand out in my content. There's inconsistencies in this 2K, there's issues, especially competitively, but I've been doing my own thing recently and been loving it more than I haven't. Over the last couple weeks, I've personally been running the PG position. The best way I could describe it, which is probably beneficial for someone like me trying to learn, is that 2K25 feels like you got training wheels on. And from what I remember back in the day, it was like you were thrown out there with the sharks. You either knew or you didn't. So from what I gather, it feels like 2K25 is good for beginners, but not so much for advanced type of players. It's like a ceiling and it kind of gets old. But as always, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this stuff. Which is better? Sound off and share it in the comment section below. If any of you guys are new here, consider dropping a like and a sub on your way out. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Easy, y'all. If you guys are tired of running with randoms and you're looking for players to run with on NBA 2K, come on out and join the AllCity 2K Discord. The link will be in the description below. Find players and get runs now. Drop a like and drop a sub on your way out. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Easy, y'all.